Hey guys, today I'm doing a video that kind of goes along with my TBR shame tag that I did last week, and that was all the books that I own that I haven't read yet. This video is going to be all of the books that I own that I need to give a second chance to. So these are books that I have read in the past and I guess I liked them enough to keep them, but I don't really remember much about them, so it makes me feel like maybe they're kind of just okay. So yeah, I just want to reread these books to see if they are ones that I really want to have in my collection or if they're ones that I want to unhaul and give them a better home. So as you can see, there's a nice big hole in my bookshelf there. That's because I've rearranged my shelves to put all of my unread books and all the books I need to reread up higher so that I look at them, because I tended to put my favorite books that I'd already read in the top shelves, and then those are the ones that I'd always want to pick up. So I've just rearranged things, so that's why there's a big gap there. That's because that's all of these books that are next to me. So yeah, I'm just going to go through all of the books that I need to give a second chance. So the first one is Russell Brand's autobiography, or it's one of them. I know he has a couple maybe, but this is My Bookie Book, and this is pretty much just about his life. I am a big Russell Brand fan. I think I enjoyed this enough to want to reread it, and I like the cover. I like that it's got pink on it, but aside from that I don't really remember much about this, so yeah. Next I have The Art of War by Sun Tzu, or however you pronounce that. I bought this a long time ago. I have read like bits and pieces of it. I don't even know if I've read it in its entirety, and it's one that I think I do really like, but I just want to reread it and see what I actually think of it, because I can't really remember. Next is one that is pretty popular. It is The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo by Stieg Larsson or something. I think my parents bought this for me. I feel like they did, maybe, I don't know. Oh no, they did. There's a nice little message from my parents. They bought it for me for Christmas in 2011. Wow, I really did enjoy this, but I don't remember it very well, and I've seen both versions of the film as well. I still don't remember this very well. I'm just not very good at remembering plot lines, I guess, unless it's something that really sticks with me. I did really enjoy this though, so I want to give it a reread. So next I have one that's somewhat part of a series. This is a very old beaten up copy from a secondhand store, but it's 20 Years After by Alexandre Dumas. This is the sequel, I think, to The Three Musketeers. The Three Musketeers, this is one of my all-time favorite books. I love it. It's a classic that is based in France. It's full of adventure and I highly recommend this. So yeah, loved this one, and then I didn't realize there was a sequel, so I picked this up when I saw it, but I tried to read it and I really didn't like this one in comparison to the first, and I feel like possibly the issue with it is the translation, because sometimes the translation can make all the difference. Like, I think this one is a really good translation and it keeps like the tone of the story, I guess, and this one just felt a lot more stiff, so maybe I need to find a different copy, but I do want to give it another try. But in order to reread this one, I feel like I need to reread The Three Musketeers as well, just so that I have the story clear in my head, because it's no good reading a sequel if you don't completely remember what happened in the first one. The other thing that bothers me about this copy is that, look, the spine is like upside down, so it makes me want to put it on my shelf this way, but then you're like looking at the cover upside down, so yeah. But yeah, this is a really, really good book and I highly recommend it, but I'm curious to find out if I still am a bit iffy about the sequel. The next one is another classic. This is Dead Souls by Gogol. I don't even know this guy's first name. Oh, Nikolai Gogol. This is one that I bought purely because of Gilmore Girls. This is the book that Rory, well, she wasn't reading it at the time that she got her college acceptance letter, but it was the book that she was kind of reading over that period of time, and there's like a joke that she makes about how she wished she was reading this at the time that her like acceptance letter came in, or the application comes in, maybe, I can't remember which it was, but as opposed to watching whatever like trashy TV show she was watching. But it made me want to read this, so I bought this when I was in high school. This is a really nice copy of it, obviously, and I read it. It was pretty hard going. The story hasn't really stuck with me. I don't really remember what happens in this book, so I really, really want to reread this one and see if I actually do like it, or if it was not really worth keeping, so we'll find out. Next is Memoirs of a Geisha by Arthur Golden. This one I have a clearer picture of what it's about. It is about a young woman who ends up becoming a geisha in Japan, and I don't even know if I pronounced the word geisha right, but fine. This one, I just know that it's very sad, and I'm not someone who likes to read really sad books very often, so I don't know if I want to keep this one, but I do want to reread it and just see whether it is something that I feel like I want to hold on to or not. Next is Robinson Crusoe by Daniel Defoe. This one is another classic that I bought when I was like in high school, and I don't remember what this is about at all. The same thing with The Scarlet Letter by Nathaniel Hawthorne. This one is obviously by the same like publisher. It's the same kind of edition as that Robinson Crusoe. Next I have one that I had to read for uni the first time that I went to uni, and this is The English Patient by Michael Ondaatje. I apologize for the really inappropriate cover, but what do you do? It is what it is. I've never really thought about that before. That's pretty out there. You can see a lot in that picture, so yes. It's about incidents that take place around the time of the Second World War. I know it's about a soldier who's injured and he ends up maybe he ends up in a relationship with a nurse or something happens. I can't really remember. I didn't particularly love this at the time, but I think it's because I had to read it. Another one that I had to read for uni back then was The Testament of Gideon Mack by James Robertson. I know it has a lot to do with religion, obviously. I can't really remember the storyline though, but I think I did quite enjoy this one. I just don't really remember what it's about, so I want to reread this one again and see if it's something I want to hold on to. I feel like I'm saying the same thing for every single one of these books, but you know, basically I want to reread them to see if I like them, to see if I want to keep them or not. That's pretty much what we're doing here. Next is another one. This was gifted to me when I was in high school by a friend, and it's Captain Corelli's Mandolin by, who is it? Louis de Bernières or something. This is a classic as well, and honestly I don't remember what this is about at all. Next is one that I feel like I've mentioned a couple times on my channel in the past. This is Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad. This one I bought again when I was in high school. It looks like a very short book, but it is a very like hard going, dense read. Not a lot of fun. The first time I read it, I found it like a kind of a slug to get through, and I got to the end and thought I didn't really like that, but I couldn't remember even what had happened. Like, I just didn't take anything in. So I reread it again a few years later. Same thing happened. It was hard to get through, and then I got to the end and I was like, I don't even know what that book was about. So I want to give it one more try before I unhaul this book. Honestly, from other people who have read it, I've only heard horrible things about it, so I don't think this is one that I'll hold on to, but I just want to give it one more go. The final two books are really like weird ones, horrible, depressing stories, and not like bad writing or anything, but just not happy stories. So again, I don't know if these are ones that I want to hold on to. Like, for me, the story would have to be amazing for me to want to hold on to like a really depressing book. Like, it would have to be really amazing. So this one is the Flowers in the Attic by V.C. Andrews. This, all I remember about it is that it's a story about family. It's about siblings who are really, really badly mistreated, and then they end up badly mistreating each other. So it's a lot of abuse and things like that, which is not something that I like reading about. So yeah. Another one, it's along similar lines, is White Oleander by Janet Fitch. I know this is a girl who is living with her mother, and her mother is a bit, I think she has some mental health issues, and it makes this girl's life quite hard, like growing up with a parent who's really unstable. And yeah, I don't really remember much about what happens in this, but I remember it being really, really sad. So yeah, those are all of the books that I need to give second chances to. If you've read any of these books, let me know what you think of them in the comments down below. I'd be interested to know, and I will let you guys know what I think of them as I get through them over time, whether I'm going to keep them or not. I'll probably do an unhaul like later down the track once I've reread some of them. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in a couple of days with another video. Bye.